Michael Bay's Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen is one of the most tedious and exhausting movies ever made. It clocks in at 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours of incomprehensible action sequences, painful dialogue, offensively juvenile humor, and plot holes that Optimus Prime could comfortably drive through. Really, the only thing more infuriating than this movie is the fact that it made over $800 million. The first movie was a teenage boy's wet dream of robot-on-robot action, lots of Megan Fox hotness, and while it wasn't perfect, it was an entertaining popcorn movie-style romp that paid great homage to the franchise's roots and was a lot of fun to watch.
The second movie, on the other hand, does none of these things correctly. The first movie was almost 2.5 hours, but there was just enough setup, plot, and characters to make sure that you weren't burnt out on action sequences by the end of the film. Revenge of the Fallen has no story or character development. In Gigli, the character development was stupid, contrived, and offensive, but at least there was some. The plot here only exists to shunt us from one action sequence to the next, and with so little happening over so much time, you feel like you've run a marathon by the time the end credits roll. So, without further ado, let's start running.
The movie begins with a flashback sequence set thousands of years in the past designed to give us some setup, but it really doesn't. This kind of scene can and does work in other movies. For instance, without the lengthy opening scene in Fellowship of the Ring, which gives us a little history on Middle-earth, we'd be disoriented when the plot kicked in. This scene is just loud and confusing. We have some ancient primitive people roaring and hunting when they find some Transformers building some kind of giant machine. The Transformers kill them, and that's it. Nothing is explained. Once again, it's okay to open a science fiction or fantasy film with some exposition, so that it doesn't have to awkwardly be crammed in later, which can easily wreck the pacing of the movie. Why did they bother putting this scene here if they weren't going to explain anything?
We then jump to present day. Wait a minute. That says 2200 hours. That means 10 o'clock for you non-military types. It sure doesn't look like 10 o'clock in this shot. Oh well. Anyway, in this scene, a large chunk of Shanghai is being evacuated, supposedly because of a gas leak. Military units are closing in on the area, including a talking ice cream truck.
Dang-a-lang, come out and get your ice cream. Any bad robot out there better get ready for an ass whooping.
Wait, that's not an Autobot, is it? What kind of Transformer talks like that? We then get some narration by Optimus Prime, voiced by Peter Cullen, who sounds about as excited in this role as a balding 40-something going in for his first prostate exam. Optimus tells us that for the last 2 years, an elite military unit has been working with the Autobots to fight against Decepticon attacks all around the world. Captain Lennox briefs his soldiers in the helicopter. He says,
"We gotta make sure this one does not get out in the public eye."
Huh. Something seems off about that. I wonder what it could be. The troops arrive, accompanied by the completely memorable Ironhide. The Autobots in this movie are a joke. Other than Optimus and the twins, every Autobot literally has 1 or 2 lines, and a lot of them aren't even named. The only reason there are so many in the first place was so Michael Bay could double his profits by selling toys.
He's here. I smell him.
Can Transformers smell? Anyway, the squad of soldiers is creeping along when a giant unnamed Decepticon jumps from out of nowhere and the battle begins.
Eagle Fire!
You really have to wonder just what the hell the military was thinking with their plan here. Get used to that because pretty much every strategy or decision made by the military in this movie doesn't make any sense. First of all, they're trying to sneak up on something that can disguise itself as any machine and hide in plain sight. Second, the first attack wave they have is ground soldiers with rifles. Someone should have lent them a copy of the first movie, where we did not once see ground troops be at all effective against multi-story alien death machines that are made of metal. Big surprise, most of the soldiers get taken out and the giant stupid-looking Decepticon runs for it. A second bad guy is then revealed, though it didn't do anything, so how did they know it was a Decepticon? It was just sitting there not doing anything. How did they know? They then dispatch 4 Autobots to pursue the new Decepticon. That makes 5 Autobots that we've seen so far. They didn't think it was a good idea to send even one in the initial attack? Another Autobot, who was apparently just sitting on his ass, starts chasing the bad guy and gives us the one genuinely cool part in this movie.
Damn, that was awesome. Then the big shot himself, Optimus Prime, is airdropped in the middle of the city to start chasing Mr. Big Wheel. Wait a minute. There are a lot of cars here.
We gotta make sure this one does not get out in the public eye.
Wait for that, eh, Josh? Optimus takes down the Decepticon in an incomprehensible visual assault of explosions and grinding metal.
Pull over.
I could not tell you what just happened if I watched this a billion times. Mr. Big Wheel then tells them,
The fallen shall rise again.
wow, I wonder what he's talking about. We then jump to the home of Sam Witwicky, the hero from the first film, who's about to leave for college. This scene fails in just every way a scene can fail, and the cause of it is right here.
Look what I found. It's your little baby booties.
Sam's mom ruins this scene and every other scene she's in with a completely over-the-top performance, too much screen time, and funny writing that isn't, funny.
Young lady.
Oh,
I love it when you call me young lady. You dirty old man.
No, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Dad, whoa.
What?
I'm watching what you're doing, Dad. It's not a rap video.
Just like a coach thing.
That was a really creepy move just...
What does this have to do with rap videos? What is the joke here? Despite some interruptions from Sam's mom, the scene is just about to actually get some good emotional things going, but apparently Michael Bay is under the impression that no one wants to see any faggy-ass crying, that's for pansies. So instead of giving us a good father and son moment, we get to see...
Mojo, no dominating Frankie. Get the hell off the couch, you filthy beast.
Oh, we forgot to mention, this is the tumor humor alarm. You'll see this every time the movie uses tumor humor. I call it tumor humor because it sucks, and you can't get rid of it. Key aspect of tumor humor is immaturity. Gags you won't believe anyone over the age of 12 would ever find funny. It's disruptive and really offensive.
Sam and his dad then talk about Sam's relationship with Michaela. We cut to a good view of Megan Fox's ass. Michael Bay's entire attitude toward Fox is summed up in this shot. In short, he has not 1 ounce of respect for her as a character or as an actress. Don't get me wrong, I think Megan Fox is beautiful and downright sexy as much as the next guy, unless the next guy is Nathan Lane. But the only reason she's in this movie is to stimulate 12-year-old boys with their hormones. No, not like that.